Alrighty, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the Daniel Craig era of James Bond video games. Now, this is my third time trying to record this. I tried around a week ago, and like an old man, I was not able to figure out some of the technology. I recorded it once without the mic turned on. I had it once without the headphones turned on at all. And I think by the third time I had just run out of energy. I was so done. So let's hope that there's nothing wrong this time around. Let me make sure I actually hit record. Yeah, it looks like we're good. Looks like we're good. Alrighty. Either way, thank you all for stopping by today. I hope you guys are excited for this video. I've already done the Pierce Brosnan era of Bond games, so if you're interested in seeing that, please go ahead and check that out on my channel. I'll put that at the end of the video as well. But let's go ahead and get started. With Quantum of Solace. So I will admit, as we jump in, I've played some of these. I have not played them all, and I've only beaten one of these games. So my opinions, what do they really matter? While looking into this, there was actually some stuff that I kind of found out about this. First up, we have Quantum of Solace, released on the PS2, Xbox 360, Nintendo DS, Wii, and Microsoft Windows. Now, the Xbox 360. Oh, that was supposed to say and PS3. Okay, I forgot. Yeah, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 version. That's the version I played. I still have it. It's the only version of the game I still own, and it's all right. We'll get into that. It's pretty much a Call of Duty shooter. But what I didn't know is the PS2 version. That was something I found out about quite recently, and we'll get into that. But jumping into the PS3, Xbox 360. And from what I can tell, the Nintendo Wii and Windows versions were relatively the same game, but just with different performance levels, of course. And as you can see, it's a first-person shooter, and they have moments like where you're hiding behind cover, where you get a third-person camera. There's also takedowns where you get to see the third-person camera. It's got the very plasticky graphics of that era. Um, I kind of just went, and you'll see there's random screenshots from random things. I just went on Google and typed up screenshots, to be completely honest. So shout out to anyone and everyone you see with their watermarks. Either way, moving on. Yeah, it's a product of its time, really. It's a Call of Duty. If I would have found a way to put some gameplay in this, you'd see that that's all it is. It's an alright game. It really is alright. Personal ranking wouldn't put it too much higher than 6 out of 10. What happens is I forget about the game, and then I come back to it 5 years later, and I'm like, oh man, I remember loving that game as a kid. And then I play it, and I'm like, did I love it? Did I love it? What's funny is this is the only game that I've beaten of these Craig era Bond games. It's easy. It's a shooter. It's a Call of Duty shooter, man. It's the same. Uh, that's it. I think it's all right. It's mostly Casino Royale, though. I should say that. Sorry, I'm just kind of rambling. It's mostly Casino Royale. It feels like 80% of this game were missions from Casino Royale told in like kind of flashback format, kind of, where they're like, oh, this happened, and now here's a mission from Quantum of Solace. Now this happened in Casino Royale. Now here's a mission from Quantum of Solace. It's clearly one of those cases where they were like, we need to get a game out with the launch of the movie without having that much information on the movie. It's like they were given set pieces, and that's it. Uh, yeah, it's an alright game. It really is alright. Of the Bond games that I grew up with, this is the least replayable in my opinion. But that's because I grew up with such fantastic games as From Russia with Love, Everything or Nothing, Nightfire, Agent Under Fire. Quantum falls far beyond those. I'd say it's run of the mill. It's not by far the worst game I played at all. Like I said, I beat it. It was great when I was going for achievements and just wanted a Bond themed adventure. But yeah, one thing that's interesting about it is they use an unused theme song for the movie. There was a song that was not used for the movie that they just threw in the game. I don't remember what it was called. I don't personally like it, to be honest, but that is just this fool's opinion. So either way, that is kind of the main version of Quantum of Solace that exists. The PS2 version is a third-person shooter, which is quite interesting. I've always been more of a fan of the third person. I like seeing the character. For some reason, I find that to be more immersive, even though kind of counterintuitive. I don't know. I don't even know if I just used that word in the right way. But either way, this does look interesting. One day I do want to pick it up. I've heard that it plays not super well. However, I haven't really done too much research into it. I just think it's super interesting that it exists and like this. Um, I don't think there's any Casino Royale missions in this game. I think it's strictly Quantum. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I had read that when I was doing my brief research and whatnot. Um, Certainly looks interesting. I missed my one chance to get this copy, or one chance. The one time I've seen it in person, I saw it at it's like a bookstore slash game store back home. I almost grabbed it. I was going to because it was a pretty good price, but the case was just it's the worst condition I've seen a video game case in, and it was one of those where I didn't feel comfortable like breaking the seal because they had like a little seal that the store itself put on it, so they would know if you opened it. I wasn't comfortable trying to get around that to see what the disc itself looked like. The disc itself. Sorry, the disc itself. Moving on. So I didn't take the risk. I was assuming the price was that low because there probably was a lot of scratches or something. But either way, that was my one chance that I've seen it in person. Maybe one of these days I'll invest and buy myself a copy. But there's plenty of other Bond games I'm going to get before I get this one. For example, and this is probably my hot take, the DS version of Quantum of Solace. I did own this. I think when I was playing it, I was too young and too dumb to figure it out. I also didn't have a stylus. I had lost it long before. And you play this game primarily with the touchscreen. So the DS, you would hold it sideways. So this is the top screen that has the map and would show you your inventory and whatnot. And this is the screen that you're actually like moving Bond and using the stylus and stuff. I don't remember too much about the game. I think it's extremely interesting. I think of the DS Bond games, it's certainly probably the most unique, and I want to try it. I do want to pick up another copy and give it another shot, and I will do that one day. This is probably the most likely, just because I think it's interesting. That, and I have a 3DS now with a bigger screen, so maybe that combined with my, you know, improved brain skills, maybe I can figure it out. Um, Figure out how to play the game. But either way, it's certainly interesting. I don't really remember how the inventory works or what these cards or guns or poker chips are for. I don't really remember. I don't remember. Um, but yeah, I'll give it another shot. Either way, that is Quantum of Solace for the DS, and that is pretty much every version of Quantum of Solace that I know of. I think there was also like Nokia had those games. Am I saying the right phone brand? Uh, I couldn't really find much information on that on Google, so I didn't spend too much time looking at that. But either way, that is Quantum of Solace in a nutshell, and I'm so sorry if you can hear my cats going off in the other room. Moving on to GoldenEye 007 and GoldenEye 007 Reloaded. Originally released on the Nintendo Wii and Nintendo DS, the Reloaded versions released on PS3 and Xbox 360. I did not forget PS3 this time, so good on me for that. But yeah, the Wii version, from what I can tell, is highly regarded as the best version of this remastered remake, whatever you want to call it, retelling version of GoldenEye. I hear a lot of bad things about Reloaded. However, GoldenEye 007 for the Wii, people, it's one of the best shooters on the Wii, if not the best Wii shooter I've heard. I have played it. I remember really liking it. I played it at my friend's house. I never owned it. This is also one that I'm more likely to grab, just because I don't have any shooters for the Wii. Not that I ever really crack out the Wii anymore. Break out the Wii. And Another thing, real quick. These screenshots, it's so hard to tell on Google Images if this is the Wii version or the 360 PS3 versions. Sorry, I don't know. It's a first-person shooter. Again, the performance is going to change. I actually heard it runs better in most cases on the Wii, just because it feels like it was made for that. And then when it comes to the DS version, yeah, you know. I did own this one as well. I actually think I did beat it. It's such a blur. I don't remember beating this game at all. I just remember getting to the final boss and being like, I beat it. I don't know. It's a first person shooter on the DS. I don't remember it running very well, but sorry, I thought we were looking at the Reloaded. I went ahead too far, but GoldenEye is a retelling of the original game slash movie with Pierce Brosnan. It's actually more of a retelling of the movie, but with Daniel Craig as Bond. There's different scenes, different actors. It's really strange, to be honest. I mostly played the multiplayer, and that's what I remember enjoying. So I really do need to buy a copy and give it a shot. Play the story. Uh, yeah, it's like no one was asking for this. But if you're gonna play it, this is the best version of the game that no one asked for. Is what it seems like. But yeah, then the DS version, I think it lacks any amount of charm in my opinion. I think Quantum of Solace, even if that game on the DS isn't good, if even if that was the general consensus, I'll take a game that tried to do something else with the IP as opposed to another first-person shooter on a system that doesn't do first-person shooters incredibly well. That's my personal opinion. Uh, I I wouldn't say this is the worst DS game I ever played. I have no interest in even owning it in my collection, to be honest. But that's personal opinion. And then, of course, GoldenEye Reloaded. I kind of threw this in here just because it needs to be. But again, the screenshots are so hard to tell. I don't know if there were vehicle levels in the Wii version. I also don't even remember there being vehicle missions in GoldenEye Reloaded. But I never played GoldenEye Reloaded 007. So this is about the extent of my knowledge is that the clips that I've seen and from what I've heard from people who do own it or have owned it, it doesn't run very well. There's no subtitles, which is interesting. Not that that's a huge drawback for a lot of people, but for my hard of hearing ass, I like having subtitles, and there's none. So, um, I don't know if there were subtitles in the Wii version either, but just something I remembered at the last second. It's like it's cool that it's on 360, right? But not a super big deal. I the only reason I think I would get this is because I like to hunt for achievements, and it's a Bond game, so kind of the same format with Quantum of Solace, just something to give a shot. I think I am more likely to play Quantum of Solace again than I am to buy this, though. Personally, I'll probably have it one day if I get a good deal on it, but it's not the Daniel Craig Bond game that I want to buy the most. It's not even near the top of that list. However, the multiplayer for both the Wii version and this one apparently are pretty okay. Online, absolutely not. Apparently on the Wii version, the online scene was very alive for a while there. Not like super long, like not anytime recently, but at that time, this was the best shooter on the Wii and the only really online experience you could get for that was, this good or quote unquote polished. Again, I wasn't there for that. This is all word of mouth and things that I've heard. So, interesting stuff, interesting stuff. Again, that's that. Then we move on to Bloodstone. 007 Bloodstone. This released on PS3, Xbox 360, Microsoft Windows, and another thing, I didn't know this came out on DS either. So, we'll go ahead and get started. This one brings back the traditional driving scenes. As you can see, the DB5 there. This also has the plasticky 360 graphics. But what's unique about this game is that it's got a unique story. I think this is the first time in a long I don't remember I don't know how many years it would have been in between then, but I'm pretty sure Everything or Nothing would have been the last original Bond story in video game format. I'm fairly certain. I could be completely wrong about that, but to my knowledge, this is an original this is the first and only original Craig Bond experience. Everything else are kind of retellings of other stories or of his own movies. And this one ends on a cliffhanger that never gets resolved. One thing I love about this one um, is that it's third-person shooter. Which again, I said it earlier, I just generally prefer third-person shooters. So this is one that I've never played, never even seen a physical copy. Since being an adult, maybe I saw it as a kid and just passed up on it, which would be saying a lot. But I digress. It's a game I want to play. Uh, Realistically, this is probably above Quantum of Solace for the DS as far as games that I want to buy, but it depends on the deal. And honestly, the mood that I'm in lately, I've been playing my DS a lot, so that might be why it's so high. But yeah, I don't know. It first and second, Bloodstone, Quantum of Solace DS, just because I've never played Bloodstone. I want to give it a shot. Moving on from there, we do have the DS version. This one, I have no idea what I'm looking at. I'm guessing there's some driving scenes. I'm guessing this is third person as well. I really need to give it a shot. I need to watch some gameplay. To be honest, I was supposed to sit down and watch gameplay of this. I didn't. I didn't. I forgot. Oh yeah, I'm so tired. My bad. But I mean, it certainly looks interesting. It looks ambitious for what it is. Daniel Craig looks rough in the actual game, but um, who knows? Maybe I'll give it a shot and give it its own review here on the channel. But I still would put Quantum above this. So the order, as far as of interest to me for DS games: Quantum of Solace, Bloodstone, and then GoldenEye. I'll be okay if I never play GoldenEye on the DS again. This I want to try at least once. Quantum of Solace, I think I actually want to beat. Either way. Moving on from that, we get last and absolutely least 007 Legends, released on PS3, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii U, and PC is what it says. So no longer Microsoft Windows, just PC. In the PS3, 360, Wii U, and PC versions, this is supposedly the graphics. Looking through it, looking through the screenshots, looking through the gameplay that I've seen, this looks it's rough. It's rough. The game is just, in general, kind of a slap in the face to Bond fans, it feels like. So, for those of you who don't know, 007 Legends is kind of I just hit this. Instead of it being a retelling of Bond stories, it's like they took beat for beat, I mean, the same actors and actresses from the movies. And I don't know if y'all could hear that yell in my ear. It's just screen battery low. But no, they like take the screen, like the clips from the movies, and they just put Daniel Craig in it. And if he feels out of place, it's weird. I played this at a friend's house one time, I think, and just never won it again. It's based on 6 movies: Goldfinger, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Moonraker, License to Kill, Die Another Day, and Skyfall's a DLC one that's not available to everyone, from what I could tell. I don't think the Wii U got Skyfall. Based on my research, that's what I was able to see. Just because of licensing and glitching and all kinds of shit like that. Yeah, Wii U did not receive Skyfall as DLC. It also had, according to my brief Google searches, like the little AI thing, it says that it has a different visual style and performance issues. So, thanks for watching. I'm just kidding. So it's unfortunate, you know. Sorry, I went a little ahead, but I don't know. It of the games, I think this is the least interesting. If I had to rank them as far as games that games that I'm interested in, probably Bloodstone is the top. GoldenEye for the Wii is Bloodstone, Quantum of Solace for the DS, GoldenEye for the Wii, and then honestly, you could throw the rest of them in any order. Quantum of Solace for the 360 has a special place in my heart, but for the most part, Daniel Craig just had a weaker era of Bond games. Even the ones that I'm nostalgic for don't rank highly on my list of Bond games. And that is saying something, because I allow nostalgia to rule my ranking list, and you know, it just doesn't do much for me anymore. But that is the Daniel Craig era of James Bond video games. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys let me know down below what you think about these games. If the headphones have died, I'm gonna lose my mind. I think it's about to. So I'm gonna go ahead and hurry up and wrap it up. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you for liking, subscribing, all the fun stuff. Let me know down below what you think about these games and what you think about my random opinions that I included in there. Either way, I'm gonna let you guys go. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you all for watching. All right, later.